Now have a look at the next formula we generally like to see, and we have seen it somewhere else, the debt equity ratio. What does debt equity ratio means? कितना उधार लिया और कितना खुद का है? How much we owed and how much is owned. So what do you feel? कि what should be there? Owed fund should be more or owned fund should be more? Majority of companies feel that if we utilize money of others to make our income, we do not have to use our own money. Means दूसरों के पैसे से अगर मैं कमा सकता हूँ तो वेल एंड गुड, नहीं तो अपना खुद का पैसा तो है ही. And at all times I cannot keep on issuing equity shares. What happens is, if we issue equity shares every time we require funds, we have to pay them well. Equity shareholders का डिमांड काफी अच्छा खासा रहता है, and at the time when the winding up comes, उनको उतना देना भी पड़ता है. We have to give them. Also, there is one critical thing. Whenever I issue equity shares, I too have to invest as a owner. Because if I don't invest now, my earnings and my ownership in that company will reduce. That is a big problem for me. My competitors might take advantage of new issue and they might try to purchase a good chunk of shares, and I might lose my controlling interest over that company. बाजीगर देखा ही होगा आपने मूवी. That is the exact thing happened in that movie. In the absence of the owner, the villain bought his company. Now, coming back to the financial world, the debt equity ratio. The formula represents something like this: the owed funds divided by the owned funds. In another way, debt divided by equity. So what is debt? The entire owed funds. Let's try to calculate it. The debt is this much divided by my owned funds are this much. So I am getting a result of 1.39. So debt equity ratio, have you all understand? Have you all understood? Now have a look what has happened in this company in the last few years. In 2012-13 the debt equity was 1.63. 2013-14 the debt equity stayed same as 1.63. In 2014-15 the company borrowed more, and in 2015-16 and in 2016-17 they are trying to pay off that debts. Earlier in our discussion, earlier in our videos, we had seen that the company was trying to pay off that debts through the cash flow statement. We will have a look at it once more. Have a look. Company started to pay off the debt from March 15 onwards.
Which is a good sign.
Which is a good sign. Also, we can say that the ideal debt equity ratio is 2:1. The company is now trying to focus on trying to get its funds more compared to the old funds. There might be a reason that the old funds have become costlier. And there might be one more reason, that is the company incurred losses and the investors want their money back. There might be these two possible reasons. There will be n number of reasons, but the picture shows that the old funds are reducing with years. Now coming on to the book value of shares. How did we calculate this? How did we get the book value of the shares? In simple words, this is my total of this divided by my equity share capital. Equity shareholders funds, that is 46,509,059 divided by 223. We will get 206.83. Now similarly they have got the figures for the next 4 years. So what does this represent? Even though my face value of share might be 1 rupee or around 1 rupee, my book value of share is 207 rupees. Means if I sell off my company at book value, I will get 207 rupees per share. Now it is far more important to see what is the market value of the share then. I have done an analysis and found out the market value of share to be 195 rupees in 2016-17. This shows that the market value is lower than the book value. Means the shares are undervalued in the market and have a potential to grow. If you see, the book value was 198 in 2015-16, whereas the market price was 87.90, and people grabbed this opportunity by both hands, and that is why we see the share prices have inflated to 195 and still the company is undervalued.
So it is still a good spot.
Good investment option. Now this is critical. This information generally investors look for. They look at the ROC, they look at the operating margin, they look at the cash flow, and ultimately they look at what is the market price now and where is the book value standing. One of the great investors, Warren Buffett, generally looks at the cash flow statements, and then he looks at how the company is doing with their operating activities, and that is how he invests. He invests so that he can retain the shares, and to sell it, he has no intention of selling it. So that is how he has become the third richest person of the world. So this is one of the keys for you guys. Now coming on to the last ratio we have on our sheet, the price earning ratio. This is simply calculated by the market price divided by earning per share. This signifies how many times my earning per share is required to cover my market price. To put it simply, this is market price divided by my earning per share. You will get 21.16 times. Means my earning per share being 9.22, I have to earn 21 times of my earning per share to recover my market price, which I am paying right now. Are you all clear with this funda? Okay. Now there is one more thing which I would like to add on. The asset turnover ratio. Asset turnover ratio shows how well I utilized my asset, and this will be a very important ratio. So what do you think, guys? If I am having an asset of 100 crore, what kind of turnover should be there? Let's say it's 1 crore is enough or 2 crore is enough. Say if I had to have a turnover of 1 or 2 crores, why will I invest 100 crores? You'll say my turnover should be around my asset. The entire year's turnover should be approximately near my asset. Better if it is more than my asset.
It is more. You're right.
So let's try to find out what is the asset turnover ratio of Hindalco. So it would be turnover divided by the asset amount. So the turnover is, let's go to the profitability statement, 102,631 divided by my assets, total assets is 109,882 multiplied by 100. In percentage form, my turnover is 93% of my asset. In bar form, it is 0.93 times. So let's have a look whether the situation is improving or it is getting worse for the company. If you have a look, in 2012-13, the turnover was just 0.87 times of the total assets. In 2013-14, the situation worsened. It was just 0.83 times. In 2014-15, the situation improved and the company was nearly able to earn what its assets were. And in 2015-16 and 16-17, the figure had taken a dip. So the company is not able to earn as much as its assets are. From this, we can make this thing out. There is a potential for this company to do more turnover and do more justice with this assets they have. With this, we come to an end of the ratio analysis statistics.
So you have made it look very simple. You used the examples and you have shown us how to really calculate looking at the data, and you have simplified all the ratios for us. So I really thank you for that.
Welcome.